So this video will be entirely delivered in English so that it can help the most amount of people possible. In this video, we'll be taking a go through of how to apply for your PGWP, that is post-graduation work permit. As the name suggests, a work permit that you get after you complete your studies here in Canada. So by far, this is the most easiest immigration application that you'll ever fill, starting when you are a student all the way at the end when you apply for your PR or your citizenship, whatever. So this is one of the most easiest applications. In just 15 to 20 minutes, we'll see how to fill that entire application on the ISCC website in your GC key, what are documents you need, and how much fees will it take to fill out this application, and how much time it usually takes to get your PGWP in hand from inside Canada. So without wasting any more time, let's start the video. Okay, so first things first, just go to Google and search for GC key login and just click on the first link, sign into your ISCC secured account, GC key username and password. And after that, I've logged in already, so it won't show anything else. So just scroll down and click on apply to come to Canada. So the first page that comes up, it will ask you for your PRC, that is a person reference code. So we don't have that. You can create this when you apply for your express entry. So I have not done anything yet, so I don't have a PRC. And most of the people I'm sure that are watching this video will not have the PRC. Just scroll down and click on visitor visa, study or work permit. So it will ask you a few very basic questions. What would you like to do in Canada? So we'll click as work. How long are you planning to stay in Canada? So temporarily more than 6 months. So in any case, it will be more than 6 months only. If you take a 1 year course, still you get a 1 year of work permit. And if you take a 2 year or 3 year, whatever, you'll get 3 years of work permit. So anyhow, it will be more than 6 months. And after that, the country that issued your passport, it was India in my case, and it can depend on like personal conditions. And what is the current country of residence? So we are currently in Canada, so we'll select Canada here. And do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or PR? I wish, but no for now. And what's your date of birth? So in my case, it's July 27th. So I'll put whatever your date of birth is. Just go to next. And are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States? Again, I wish, but no for now. And what is your current immigration status in Canada? So this is extremely important. Just mark my word, this is extremely important. Your study permit should be valid when you are applying for your work permit. So let's suppose we are applying for our work permit today. And if your study permit is expiring today or has already expired, do not apply for a work permit. Just consult your immigration advisor and they will guide you for the next steps, because in this case, if you apply with the outdated study permit or with the outdated document, your application will be rejected and you'll get a removal order from Canada. So for now, we'll choose here student, as I'm assuming that the student visa or the study visa is valid for you. Okay, we'll do next. Do you work to plan on campus? So no. After that, are you a full-time student? So no, you are not a full-time student anymore. Your studies are already completed. So the next question says that again, have you recently graduated from a participating Canadian post-secondary education institution? And yes, we'll select here yes, because you have recently graduated. Is your work an essential part of your studies? So no. If you have a co-op program, so you can enter it here and give all the details about that. And have you been told by IRCC that you're approved for permanent residency? So no. Have you submitted a PR application? So no. Do you have a written job offer? Even if you have a written job offer, that means you are submitting a work permit request for LMIA. That is not what we are submitting for. We are submitting an application for an open work permit. So if you have a fixed offer letter from a specific employer, do not hit yes here. Just do no, as you are requesting for an open work permit. I hope I made myself clear. And for the next step is, do you have an official letter from the schools that confirm that you have completed your studies? So yes. So most of the universities and colleges just give you your completion letter within a week or two. But if you need it on an urgent basis, you can just email or just go to admin block or the international department. You can just tell them, hey, I need my completion letter for application of my work permit. But as far as I know, you can always use your unofficial transcript that you can generate from the college website that I also use. I didn't have my completion letter the day when I applied for my work permit. But still, I would say just confirm with your admin block before taking any kind of decision, because this is one of the most important and most crucial documents of your entire journey. And the next question depends on the personal situation. What is your marital status? So I'm single for now, and whatever your marital status is. What is your province or territory of destination? So in my case, I am in Manitoba right now. So if you are in some other province or you are planning to move province, just tell them the province or the address that you are willing to move. Like I moved from Ontario to Winnipeg. Like my case was different. When I applied for my work permit, I was in Ontario only and I didn't have any plan to move. But yes, if you have any plan, just give them the province in which you are planning to move. So after all the questions that you have answered, it will tell you two options. Like first one will be temporary resident visa and the second one will be postgraduate work permit as the name suggests. So both the things we have to apply, but first we'll apply for the PGWP. So what is a temporary resident visa? That means TRV. I've already made a detailed video on that, how to apply, documents, fees, everything I've covered. It's a 20-minute long video. The video is linked down in the description below. And for this video, we'll focus on the PGWP in Canada. So we'll click continue here and again continue. It will again ask you some few questions. Do you have an official letter? The same question that it asked us before. So yes. And have you had a medical examination performed by ISCC authorized panel physician doctor within last 12 months? So I would say no. But if you say no here, it will ask you like two more questions. It will say like, do you want to work in these kind of services like healthcare and all of that stuff? So I don't want to work, so I'll do it no. On next page, it will show you the more of the following jobs, but we'll do here no. So if you want to work in these kind of fields, so yes, you have to give your medicals, but I don't have to do it, so I'm doing it no. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? So no. Are you giving someone access to your application? That is super important. Just mark my words again. It is super important. If you're giving your access to an representative, maybe a RCIC registered agent or like somebody else, so you have to mark that accordingly. But I'm doing all the things by myself. All the documents that I will upload myself. It's my responsibility. So I'm doing it no. And I'm sure this video will help many people to figure out how to apply a work permit by yourself. The next question is, in the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints and photo biometrics for application to come to Canada? So the answer would be yes. So I assume if you have your study permit, you already have given your biometrics. So if you have not given, yes, you have to give it again. But if you have already given, then no issues. So we'll do next year. There are fees associated with this application. Will you be paying your fees? Yes, I'll be paying my fees. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents? So yes. Will you be paying your fees online? All the Visa, MasterCard, Amex, and everything is mentioned here. So yes. So at the end, it will give you a chance to review all your answers that you gave starting from the first page till the last page. Take extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, as much time as you want. But just review these answers very carefully, because on these basis only your file will be rejected or accepted, whatever. I hope so your file is accepted. But just go down, click on continue, and your 3 steps are done. And in the last step, we'll click continue here and it will show you all the documents that you need. So the first one that you need is IMM 5710 form. After that, your recent education transcript, which we talked about when we were starting this first page, the completion letter that your college gives you, it basically says that this is the college or university, whatever you studied in. This student, Mr. X, has studied this program from this to this date, and he or she has completed successfully and all of that stuff. So this will be your education transcript. And after that, completion letter. After that, passport that you already have. At the end, your digital photo. So these are only 4 documents that you need. I would recommend don't save your money on these kind of things. This is one of the most crucial documents of your entire journey. So go to Staples, go to Shoppers, spend $25-$30. I remember when I went for my photo, I paid roughly around $27.55. And I got 2 photos. So it's very expensive. I know, like if you go to your university, you can click a picture there as well, but the quality is not that great. So if you go to Staples or like Shoppers, those guys will click a very professional picture for you. So don't cut off your money there. Just spend $25-$30 and give the exact photo that they are asking for. If you want to see some highlights, you can just click this star icon and just note down all the things that you require. And after that, if you have any questions, we have all the question marks here, so you can just click it one by one and read if you want. And after that, if you scroll down, so you'll see all the fees that is associated with this application. So it's $155 for the work permit, and other than that, $100 for open work permit fee holder. So in total, it's 255 Canadian dollars. Okay, so let's start filling this form. So the first thing it says is UCI number. So it will be on the top right corner of your study permit in the black accent. So you have to use this number. It will help the ISCC agent who is reviewing your file to assess your background information with like relation to your study permit and everything. So next up is I want a service in English. If you want in French, you have to choose French. Third point, super important, use second option. You're applying for the work permit for the very first time or with a new employer. If you choose any other, basically the first option, that means you're applying for a closed work permit. So we are not applying for a closed one, we are applying for open. So choose second option. After that, everything that is on your passport, use exact same information. I'm using my channel's name for now, but you have to exactly fill all the accurate details. Third one is if you have used any other name, so I have not, I'll do no. After that, male, female, whatever, and whatever your date of birth is, we have to enter, and whatever your city or province of birth is. So mine is New Delhi, India, so I'll do India. After that, citizenship, mine is India, depends on your case. So further it will say your country or territory of residence is Canada, because we chose post-graduation work permit within Canada when we were filling our online applications. So it automatically gave us Canada. And your status, it's super important. Make sure I'm telling this again and again throughout this entire video. Your status is super important. If you have skipped my first part when we were filling the online process, I'm telling you again, your study permit should be valid when you are filling for the work permit. So we'll choose student here. And after that, from which date to which date your study permit was valid, or from which date you got. So you have to enter those dates here. I'm leaving it blank for now, but you have to enter all the details here. After that, your previous country of residence, if you have lived in any other country other than your citizenship or your home country. So no. After that, it will say your current marital status. Again, it's like a very subjective thing, so it depends on your personal situation. So mine is single for now. And have you ever previously married? So no. So it will ask you for your mother tongue after that. So you have to write your mother tongue, whatever your mother tongue is. So in my case, it's Punjabi. So if you have any other mother tongue, you have to end it. Are you able to communicate in French, English, or both? So in English for me. If you are able to do in both, so choose both. Have you taken a designated testing agency for your English or French? So yes, we'll give, because now the rule has changed, you have to give your IELTS for your work permit application as well. So you have to enter yes. In my time when I applied like 1 year back, so I chose no here because at that time it was not necessary to do IELTS again. After that, your passport number, whatever your passport number is. So I'm choosing few numbers here for now. And after that, which country issued your passport. Even if your passport is renewed and you applied for a new one that is issued within Canada, still you have to enter your passport issuing country as India, because it's India's property that they have given the passport to you. So you have to enter India here. Issue date and expiry date depends on your situation. And will you be using your passport made by Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Taiwan? So we'll do no. I don't know why this point is not working for me. Like we have to choose no here. I don't know why it's not working. So second point again, national Israeli passport. So no. So these 2 points, I don't know why they're not working, or they're automatically blurred out by the system, that I'm not pretty sure about. But yes, if they are visible to you, so choose no here if it doesn't belong to you. After that, it will ask you for some national identity documents. So do you have any? So you can enter it here. When I made my application, so I chose passport only here. But if you are from India, if you are seeing this video from India, so you can choose your Aadhaar card, PAN card, or voter ID, whatever. If you are from some other country, you can enter the identity document that is primarily used in your country. So we'll scroll down. Are you a lawful permanent resident of United States? So no. After that, your current mailing address, PO box number if you live in an apartment, so that they can send you your work permit or any kind of questions if they might have. I hope they don't have. So after that, apartment number, I'm choosing some random number here. Street name 567. I'm choosing just random things here. So currently I'm in Winnipeg, so we'll choose Winnipeg. Country already selected is Canada. After that, you have to enter your postal code. And next thing it says, is your mailing address same as your residential address? So yes, if it's not, you have to enter the new one here. After that, your telephone number. So here we'll choose Canada and US. So it will automatically select the country code. And in the type, you have to select cellular. Because it's your personal phone, you have to select cellular. If it's your business phone, so you have to choose business. If it's the landline of your house, so you have to choose residence. So I'll choose cellular here. And here you have to enter the 3-digit access code. If you have, it's important and you have to enter it. I'm not entering it right now, but whatever the number is, so you have to enter it here. Okay, so I'm writing any random number right now. It's not my number though. So if you have any other alternate telephone number, you have to enter it here. I'm not selecting it right now. If you have any business, like you're using any business phone number, so if you want, you can enter some fax machine number here, everything, if you're a business. So after that, it's not required to give your email address, but I would recommend give an email address in case IRCC wants to contact you for regarding your application, if they need some additional information or like whatever. So just for safer side, give your email address here. When we scroll down, it will ask you some more questions about coming to Canada. So the first question it says is, date and place of your original entry to Canada. So at which airport you landed in on the very first day. So the date here when your study permit was given to you, I'm choosing just like yesterday's date, but the original date when your study permit was issued for the very first time on the airport. You can find this date on your original study permit that was issued to you on the very first time. If you have extended your study permit, use the first one when you came here. I hope I'm making sense, but yeah. And the place from where you came in, so I'm writing YYZ here. That's the code for Toronto International Airport. Whatever airport you landed in, so you have to enter the detail here. After that, your original purpose for coming to Canada. So mine was study, and it's super important. Choose study here. If you have skipped entire video before this, I'm telling you again, though I've told this before as well, your study permit should be valid while you are applying for your PGWP, that is post-graduation work permit, as the name suggests. So choose study here. And after that, if you left Canada during your study or like whatever scene was, by any chance, so you have to enter the most recent entry, like the same thing when you came in and at what airport you landed on. So after that, it will ask you details of intent to work in Canada. So what type of work permit you are applying for. Again, super important. Just click on the drop down. You'll see many options: core work permit, LMIA, labor market stream, live-in caregiver, open work permit. Leave everything, just come on to the last point, that is post-graduation work permit. The name, as the name suggests, you have done your studies and now you're applying for your post-graduation work permit. I hope I'm making sense. So don't choose any other option, just choose post-graduation work permit. Okay, so when we'll scroll down a bit, so you have to leave all these options without any changing it. Because it says here, if you have any kind of specific job employer. So if you have a job offer and you're applying for a LMIA, then you have to enter all these details. So when we scroll down, have you been issued a certificate under the PNP? That means Provincial Nomination Program. So no for now. After that, it will ask you for your education. So if you have completed a post-secondary education, so it's yes. After that, when your education started. So my education started in January 23, 4 days after I came in. So whatever your study was, you have to enter it here. After that, the school and facility where you studied. So I'm writing Fanshawe College. That was my college where I studied. And till what date your education was. So mine was till April 2024. So I'm entering all the details here. And in which country the education was. And then you'll select the province. So I was in Ontario at that time, so I'm choosing Ontario. And the same thing for the employment, what job you were doing, where you were doing. So you have to mention all the details. When you started your job, so I started in April, let's suppose. So I'm writing April here. And what your job was. So let's suppose you worked as a forklift operator. So I'm writing forklift here. So whatever your job was and with which company or which facility, you have to enter the name here. So I'm writing XYZ for now, but if you're currently working at that space only, you have to leave this too, because you're currently working, obviously. So after that, country of residence, and after that, province or territory, in which province you were working. So you have to mention all the details. And if you left that work and you're working somewhere else, we have to give all the details in these 2-3 columns. Now this is the last portion of your application, so it says background information. So most of the questions will be no, but some of the questions will be yes. So read these very carefully, because if you lie in these sections or if you give some misleading information in these sections, your application could be rejected. So the first point is if you and your family members suffered from TB or something, so we'll do no. Mental disorder, so I hope nobody has, but yeah. So the next one is, have you ever remained in Canada beyond the validity of your status? So no, and I would highly recommend don't do these kind of things. Now the government is very strict. Stay away from these kind of things. After that, have you ever been refused a visa or study permit? So no, in my case it was no. If you have already been refused, so you have to choose yes and give all the details in this section here. And after that, have you previously applied to enter or remain in Canada? So choose yes, because when you applied for your study permit, you intended to stay in Canada or remain in Canada. So you have to enter all the details here. So I'm entering study in 2023, but you have to give a very brief, like few lines of information when you came and what was your study and everything. You have to mention it here. When we scroll down, have you ever been convicted in criminal charges? So no. And after that, have you ever served in military? So no. Do you have any connections with political parties? No. Have you ever been a prisoner? Or no. So after that, it says for your signature. So, but do you consent to be contacted by IRCC or any organization on behalf of IRCC? So we'll choose yes here. And for this only, we gave our email address on the earlier pages so that if there is any kind of issues with your application and IRCC wants to contact you, so they can easily contact you. Choose yes. After that, give your full name as per your passport and the day when you're submitting your application. After that, when you do validate, so it will show you a new page like page 6, and it will show you some kind of barcode like 4 or 5 barcodes aligned in this way. So that file you have to save and upload on the portal. So if I do validate right now, it will show some kind of issues and where was the issue, the something that you missed. So this I missed intentionally to show you guys at the end. So if something is important in your application that needs to be submitted or needs to be told to IRCC and you have not done it, so it will show you these red kind of boxes. You can correct it from here and just submit your application. Okay, so this was by far the most easiest immigration application that you can ever fill during your immigration process, starting from student till your PR. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new, and if so, please do like, subscribe. I'll see you in another video. Till then, keep learning, keep hustling, and bye-bye.